Park, Milwaukee, within the shadow of the brewery not far away. The Nats are in a salvage operation this afternoon against the Brew Crew, trying to salvage one. Tanner Roark, the Illinois kid here in Wisconsin, gets the start for the Nats, and they hope he's going to be a second half guy this year like he has been throughout his career. More on that with FP in a moment. First of all, the Nats have played 100 baseball games. We all get called in for employee reviews now and then, so let's have a look at the state of our baseball team 100 games in. We didn't expect them to be under 500. 7 behind the Phillies, who won an epic extra inning games last night. The Nats have not played well against teams with winning records. They've lost 25 of their last 37, 11th in the league in runs and in batting average, and 8th in earned run average. So the numbers don't look great. You can't turn it around in a day. That's not the nature of baseball, FP. So these last 62 games, yeah, they're crucial, but it provides great opportunity.
Yeah, I want to say you got to go 40-22, but you have to win one game, and that's where it starts. And you have to start playing well on a consistent basis, and maybe when you score runs early, add on. And if you get behind early, fight back into it. That's a recipe for success, and hopefully it happens here soon.
And hopefully some of the offensive guys who've been a little beaten up settling back in. We saw good things from Ryan Zimmerman and Adam Eaton last night. Unfortunately, they were just about all the offense, but you can kind of feel it gradually coming. It just has to start spreading itself from number 1 through number 8.
Well, you're seeing the dinged up guys get healthy, and you watch them just run around. They're running around a lot better. Daniel Murphy hit a home run the first night. He's been locked in. He's on his legs more. You can just tell by the way he's swinging the bat a little more aggressively. Last 19 games, 17 for 58. A couple of homers, a 293 average. So here comes Murph with a 348 on base percentage. And how about Adam Eaton? He's hit safely in 7 of his last 10. 410 batting average over that time. A couple of doubles, a home run. He's been doing it all. The home run last night, a couple of base hits, and then Zim in the lineup for the second day in a row. Got a couple of doubles yesterday, drove in some runs, made a nice play at first base. So the dinged up guys, I think, are the veteran guys who are the key to turning this thing around. We can show you their swings, we can talk about stats, but if the Nats are going to turn this thing around, they got to lean heavily, big time on the veterans.
And with Ryan Zimmerman getting a day off today, Matt Adams in there, got to have that bat in there whenever you can. But there's another left-handed hitter on this ball club that's such a big key. Bryce had the night off except for a pinch hitting appearance last evening, so he's back in there today, and he really has to be the guy to lead the way.
And he's a veteran too. I mean, we think of Bryce Harper as a young player, but when you talk about how long he's been in the league, he's another veteran that they need to lean on. And his presence in the lineup, he becomes more consistent. He starts hitting bombs. They'll win some games.
Bryce, 24 homers, top 4 in the league, 56 runs batted in, so maybe refreshed after not starting the game last night. So here we go. It's on to Miami this evening. The Nats need this one in Milwaukee as the Phillies are again playing the Dodgers, and there's a game of opportunity out there today. Had some pretty good success the last couple of years. In fact, the Nats have won one of those games. They got shut out in the other one, but don't blame Tanner the way he pitched. They're out there tailgating, getting ready for this one today. We go back to June 26th of 2016. The Nats got a 3-2 win here. FP, and Tanner was outstanding. Gave up 7 hits, but scattered them in 7 scoreless innings.
Well, he's close to home. He's always had a good feel for Wrigley Field and Miller Park. A lot of family and friends probably here today. They always have been when he's in the Midwest. And then on September 1st, 2017, you see this against the Brewers.
Yeah, 1 run on just 5 hits in 7 innings. Problem was Jimmy Nelson with his bullpen. Hader and Knebel shut out the Nats that night. A 1-0 game, so Tanner can get buoyed by the fact that he's done well. He's comfortable in this ballpark, and needs to break that 5-game personal losing streak. So Roark comes into the ball game with a 3-12 with a 4.87 ERA. Freddie Peralta is a 22-year-old rookie who's made 7 starts, and the numbers are pretty good, and a couple of good starts here at Miller Park for him.
A young pitcher, gave up 3 runs in 3 2/3 innings last start. He threw 93 pitches in 3 2/3 innings. So get his pitch count up and get in the bullpen.
They have a big crowd gathering for afternoon baseball here on a Wednesday in late July. Roof is open. It's gorgeous. The infield ready. Everybody's got the shades, the sunblock, and let's get some good baseball going. The Nats need this one before heading to Miami, Washington at Milwaukee. Game 3 of this series. By PNC Bank. There's no better time to act than today. PNC, make today the day. And by Ocean City, Maryland. There's no end to the fun you'll have in Ocean City. Plan your trip today at OCOcean.com. Just a couple of miles inland from Lake Michigan here in Milwaukee. Daniel Murphy getting ready. Yeah, Murph's going to go back to back to back in this series. It's going to be a little warm here today. 38% humidity saving us, though, on an 85-degree afternoon with the panels open, the roof open, and a rookie pitcher facing the Nats. Anthony Rendon got a knock last night in his 4th time up to extend that hitting streak, the 2nd longest in baseball at the moment. Adam Eaton's had a good series, so we'll look for some damage from Harper, Adams, and Soto as the Nats pile up with Murphy, left-handed bats in the middle of that lineup. Freddie Peralta, 22 years of age, 7 starts, and opponents at batting average of 144, and his walks and hits per innings pitched under 1.
Yeah, opponents hit 151 against his 4-seam fastball, 115 against his curveball. So 8th start of the season for Freddie. 22 years old, 5'11", 175. And here we go, play ball. Have fun.
Score early.
It's a game. Here we go.
So Adam Eaton in the series, so walk 2 for 8. Last night's home run. First pitch down and in, underway right on time at 1:10 here in Milwaukee Central Time. So here comes the discovery process. First time around the order against the rookie pitcher. Dan Bellino, 11-year veteran, has the plate, and he took a long look at that one before calling it ball 2.
Dan Bellino's in a catcher squat with the catcher. You don't see that too often with umpires. Usually they just lean over. But watch him as the pitch comes. He gets way down in there.
Inside, 3-1. Adams on base percentage, .399. He's at .362 his last 18 ball games. Good way to start, and hustling to first, Adam Eaton.
Good at bat, leadoff man on, game on. Here's the defense for the Brewers today. Yelich, Kane tames the outfield. Saladino, Miller up the middle. Shaw, Aguilar at the corners, and Manny Pena behind the plate.
Anthony Rendon, 3 for 9 here in Milwaukee. 16 hits in his 12-game streak. Brad Miller, second baseman, going to shade up the middle with Saladino, the shortstop, in a big pulled position. Thus, Rendon has 90 feet of hitting room on the right side.
I always like facing shorter pitchers. I felt like their fastball was flat, meaning it's not coming downhill. And it was easier to hit because it's on plane with your swing a lot longer than, say, a guy that's 6'4", 6'5".
Good point.
It's more horizontal than at an angle coming downhill. Spread them out all over. Got the whole right side right now with Miller playing up the middle.
It's kind of interesting now. On a 1-1 pitch, he's actually moved to his left some. He started the at bat almost behind the bag. Adam Eaton not in a mode where he's running in terms of stealing a lot yet. And Rendon will hit one high in the air to left. Christian Yelich, edge of the track for the first out. Eaton went back to tag, but Yelich's throw keeps him at first.
Just missed it. It had the launch angle. It just didn't have the sound, so you knew it didn't have a chance, but pretty good pass anyhow.
So here's Bryce, who did come off the bench as a pinch hitter in the 7th inning last night. In the series, he's 0 for 4 with a walk. They're going to jam up the right side of the infield against him. In the baseline, left side, third baseman Travis Shaw.
Launch mode right here on a heater.
One.
A lot of good categories to lead. Trying to go out there again.
And Bryce unable to get to it. 91. And now with 2 strikes, Travis Shaw will run all the way over to the right side of the infield. So the third baseman is playing nearest the first baseman on this 2-strike shift. Swing and a miss. After the leadoff walk, 2 down, and the inning will be up to Matt Adams.
A pair of 91s to a 93, and that one had tons of plate, and it looked like Bryce was late on it.
Matt Adams has had just 2 at-bats in the series. Since coming off the DL, in 11 starts, hitting .326. And that's up in the zone.
Good lead. He's going. Oh, he was going. Did you see the lead? Craig Counsell saw that too. See if they throw over again. Early returns, he seems to be sneaky fast.
Yeah. Now the third baseman, traveling Travis Shaw, swaps spots with the shortstop. And the 0-2 with Eaton on the move, and Matt Adams will follow it up right above us into the upper deck.
What a jump right there by Eaton. My goodness, and there's no way obviously he can take the pitch with 2 strikes, but he got a shuffling running lead, if you will. Watch this. See ya.
That gets away. It actually hit Matt Adams, so he goes to first base. I was wondering why Juan Soto made the kick save when he was on deck, but the ball had already been called dead as Adams takes it off the foot.
Wear it off your pinky toe. Now here comes Juan Soto. I was talking to Bob Uecker today about Juan Soto before the game, and he's getting a kick out of what he does after he takes a pitch too.
They pitched him well. 1 for 9 in the series. He had an infield hit 3rd time up Monday night, and they've retired him 6 times in a row. So with 2 outs, chance for some damage, and he fouls it.
All right. Side curveball. All right.
And the rookie missed. Target was on the outside part. And then a throw in, and Eaton back in plenty of time. Pena had to reach to his right before clearing himself and throwing to second.
Yeah, I'm eating all over the place already today. You're not going to get him. He's not going to fall asleep. Looks like Peralta has a little bit of natural cut to his fastball that I didn't notice early. Or maybe just overthrowing it to Juan Soto. Either way, it's moving towards Soto.
Trying to frame it, Pena. Dan Bellino not biting. And the count goes to 3-1. The Nats have 2 aboard already. With a walk and a hit batter. Murphy next.
It's like take a ball and then do the salsa in the batter's box while you're staring down the pitcher. I'm so digging it.
Bases loaded. Without putting the bat on the ball.
All right, a big hit here relaxes everybody in the third base dugout. This is huge.
So Daniel Murphy at RBI on Monday when he homered his first time up. Well, the Nats need to get something going. Phillies just dropped a 5 spot on the Dodgers. 6-1 at Philly, 6th inning there. They lead the Braves by a game and the Nats by 7. All you can control is what's happening on this diamond right here, and Murph in the driver's seat. He's 13 for his last 34. Make him throw a strike or 2 here, huh?
I don't think so. I think you just really lock him in. You keyhole him. You're making him throw it through a keyhole wherever you want it, where you're going to do damage. I don't think you automatically take here. You're just looking for a pitch on a tee. Looks like he's opened up his front foot a little bit in his stance. That looks different to me.
Murphy will drop one into center. Eaton scores. Adams coming around. Another runner heading to third, and in there safely is Soto. Nats lead 2-0. So they were given 3 base runners, and Murphy drives in 2.
Well, there goes the no-hitter. There goes the shutout. And there goes Daniel hits Murphy. He's back, folks. Mark it down. We told you all the numbers. He's locked in. Subtle adjustment right there with the front foot open, maybe so he can get his hips to the inside pitch. Ends up hitting it up the middle. 2-0. Line moving. Dare I say, same cubicles? You're probably still at work watching on your computer.
First and third, 2 outs, and Trey Turner. 25 pitches for the rookie here in the first inning.
Clutch knock.
That ball gets away, and coming down the line and scoring is Soto. Ball gets away, and trotting down to second, Murphy. 3-0 on a wild pitch.
I'll tell you what, if Peralta was there, it would have been interesting, but it looked like Freddie didn't want anything to do with it. Good read by Soto. He was off to the races as soon as he saw it kick. So watch Juan, top of your screen. Yeah, I'm going. Run till they tag you, Juan. And Peralta wanted nothing to do with that. Look at that. Nothing to do with tagging out Juan Soto at home. He shied away from that big time.
Another runner in scoring position. 2-1. Nationals have scored now in the first inning in all 3 games. Murphy's homer, pardon me, that was Murphy in the second inning Monday. They did get on the board with the Zimmerman double last night. So early inning scoring, and the Nats have led in all 3 games. Turner pops it up. Jesus Aguilar. The Nats will get 1 hit as they were provided opportunity, and Murph took care of it with a wild pitch as well. Now the Brewers, down by 3, and Tanner Roark faces this Milwaukee lineup. 9th in the league in hitting. They're 9th in runs and 4th in homers. And Lorenzo Cain, speaking of the number 4 consecutive singles last night, taking analytics and tearing it into shreds. He scored 2 runs. He drove in a run, and he raised his batting average from 290 to 298. Behind Thames, ahead of Yelich. Tanner Roark career, we showed you some of the good outings in our second opening segment. 3-1 in 5 starts, 6 games against the Crew.
Ready to go too.
He is. Ball 1 to Eric Thames, who has not faced him before.
Strike 1 key for Tanner, right? It's cliche, but when you look at a 1-0 count, opponent's hitting 455, 0-1 count 200. And this is a big pitch too. Well, the 1-1 count's a big pitch for him too. We'll get to that in a second.
Our Masson colleague Byron Kerr here, and he did a nice story on MassonSports.com about the sinker today.
That's all that you really need to know right there. Here we go. Post All-Star break Tanner. That's his career.
Yeah, under 3 runs a game. Nats will take that the rest of the way. So evidently Brandon Kinsler has been sitting down with Tanner and commiserating on the sinker, trying to get some outs on the ground. And when you get a second, click on MassonSports.com. Check out Byron's entry today. Thames hitting 242. Ball 3.
Well, Tanner's talking about how everything is off his fastball, and when he's going good, you know, he uses his lower half, and when he's going like he's been going lately, it's more of an upper half, throwing the fastball with his arm. So he's really been working on staying on the mound, in contact with the mound, slowing his delivery down right there and staying on his backside to drive down on the fastball. It's a good example as we're talking about it.
99th strikeout of the year.
See that backside, just staying on that leg, staying in contact with the mound. And you know, sometimes you start pushing so far forward so hard, you lose contact with it. It's almost like a front foot hitter, and now you're just swinging with your arms. But if you stay over that mound and use that back leg, now you get on top, and that sinker has a lot more life in the strike zone, like you just saw.
Lorenzo Cain, all 4 of his hits in the series last night. He's also walked, and a 1-pitch grounder right side. Murphy, 2 down.
Just teasing him, making him run harder. All right, here's defense for the Nats today. 2 down, Murph. I see you. Soto, Harper, Eaton the outfield. Turner, Rendon left side. Murphy, Adams right side. Matt Wieters behind the plate. Big knock. Reward yourself with seeds.
Christian Yelich. He's had a good series. 4 for 8, 5 RBIs. Home run last night that took a 4-1 game and made it 4-3. By the way, the Dodgers just picked up 2. Immediate answer to the Phillies' 5-run inning, so it's 6-3, 6th inning at Citizens Bank Park. Braves are off. So are the Marlins, who will host the Nats tomorrow. Steven Strasburg tomorrow. Tapper right side. Looks like a really good first inning for Tanner Roark. He got the strikeout on a fastball with life, and then a couple of ground balls to the right side.
This weekend, August 4th and 5th. Well, it's next weekend. Cincinnati Reds in town. I've read that wrong. Bring non-perishable food items to the center field gate to benefit the Capital Area Food Bank. This is a good one. If you donate 4 more items, you can receive 2 tickets to future Nats games. Visit nationals.com.
Freddie Peralta trying to get his afternoon under control here. Through 27 pitches first inning, and then he misses to Wieters. Wieters, Roark, and Eaton top of the second. Count even.
Key to this game right now is to add on. 1 here, 1 there. So many times this year the Nats have scored 3 or 4 early and just kind of sat on it. Adam Eaton was talking about it after the game last night. We need to stay hungry in innings 3 through 7 and add on to our lead. Or if we're behind, jump back into it.
Eternally optimistic Davey Martinez. He is so convinced this thing's going to turn around, said after the game last night. This team is too good for it not to. 2-2 pitch, and Wieters gets off a pretty good swing.
I mean, what else are you going to be if you're the guy everyone's looking to? Hey, we totally stink, and it's not going to get better, and we have no chance. Now, you have to be optimistic. That's, you know, in today's game, it's a big part of your job as a manager.
And then Wieters reaching. Ball was foul tipped. Pena held on. Second strikeout for Peralta. Tanner Roark is next, and he's had a pretty decent season swinging the bat. 6 hits, 4 RBIs. Career batting average 139.
If something's half iced tea, half lemonade, and half iced tea, isn't it overflowing?
There's 3 halves.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's too much. There's no way it fits in that can.
I think we're only seeing part of the second sign.
All right.
Arnold Palmer will not be over par, believe me. Swing and a miss. Nasty breaking ball. Wells Fargo will look ahead. 4 in Miami. And it starts with Steven Strasburg tomorrow, who enters with 23 scoreless innings consecutive against Miami, dating back to April of last year. Max Scherzer and young Pablo Lopez, Gio, Trevor Richards on Saturday, and then Jeremy Hellickson and Jose Urena on Sunday. 3 night games, all at 7:10, followed by the 1:10 game before the Nats come home. Here's Adam Eaton, second time around. Shows bunt, got Travis Shaw on the way in from third. Slapping one out to short, backhand pickup. Saladino got rid of it in a hurry, and a bounce back 1-2-3 inning for Freddie Peralta.
Start before the All-Star break. He gave up 3 runs in the first inning to the Mets on a bunch of softly hit balls, and says he told himself after the second inning, it's 4-0, I'm down, I'm in line for another loss yet again. Forget it. I'm going to go out and pitch and not worry about anything. And he went out and finished his outing with 3 scoreless, smooth innings. Tanner telling me he took his aggression out, and now he's just going to go attack. He says he's a firm believer in the it's not how you start, but how you finish cliche. He's going to put his grind hat on, and he's going to go to work the rest of the season, guys, just attacking, pitching, and not worrying about anything.
I like it.
9 pitches, 5 strikes, first inning. Thank you, Dan.
Yeah, there's times when you can see him overthinking it out there, and we've kind of noted it before.
That ball's got a lot of spin on it, down to the right side for Matt Adams. So 3 pretty weakly hit ground balls following the strikeout of Thames to start the day.
And we've seen Tanner at his best over the years when he just attacks. He's got the bulldog mentality. He doesn't think about anything other than attacking hitters. Maybe there's some dead coolers in New York that he took his aggression out on.
I did notice, and this isn't just the Nats being there. Right outside the visitors clubhouse at Citi Field, there's kind of a metal rack where you can store things. I saw about 20 dents in that thing.
Oh yeah.
So obviously over the years, guys have come up the stairs back toward the visiting clubhouse and done some damage to that thing. And they leave it out there. It's kind of wearing it. And you'll see that from time to time in different tunnels and passageways from dugouts up to clubhouses. Just happened to notice that when we were there a week and a half ago.
It's everywhere.
Look out. Right below us. Foul ball by Travis Shaw.
But what you do as a player is you just get it out of your system. You go down there and release, and then come back a new man. And if fans could see what goes on in the dugout, in the tunnel during a game, and how intense these guys are every single night.
Well, that is right into the shift. Trey Turner playing up the middle. Travis Shaw retired. Great trending going on here. 4 consecutive ground balls.
All right, Anthony Rendon has a ton of doubles. He's Tony Two Bags, and now he's got a bobblehead, which will totally complete his career. It's presented by PNC Bank. The first 25,000 fans. Nats Reds, Friday, August 3rd, 7:05. Rendon bobble. Script Nats jersey will be on that one, so get your tickets today at nationals.com. I'm calling Tony hasn't destroyed too many tunnels. There's different ways. Some guys are even keel, Carp.
Yeah.
They just go about it. Some guys are even keel, and all of a sudden they snap. Those are the most dangerous because they don't know how to snap, and when they snap, they usually hurt themselves or somebody with collateral damage nearby. And then there's the professional snapper that snaps pretty much every game. And he knows how to snap, where to snap, when to snap.
And different degrees of snappage, right?
Different degrees of snappage, absolutely. How, when, and where is a big thing, too. Never snap when you're ahead 8-0 because you can wake another team up and it looks like you're being selfish.
Yeah. Hot shot, and Rendon tried it. Juan Soto, that was interesting. I think that ball ended up between his spikes when it made contact with his glove. And aggressively, Saladino into second with 2 outs.
That's got to be a single in there. Ball hit hard by Saladino and by Anthony Rendon. Good effort. And then right here, Juan overran it. Or maybe it hopped back toward him. Either way. Well, we'll see how they scored. I don't know. Not so sure about it. It might just be a double.
Brad Miller will bat with 2 outs and a runner at second.
It's just a straight double.
Yeah, they put an error on the board for the Nats. So there's a single and he's 7.
Where you snap is key too, because you don't want to snap where the cameras can see it, because then you see it and you look like an idiot. And you also don't want to snap in the dugout where if you throw your helmet it pops up and hits somebody. I've seen fights happen because of that. And then how you snap. I mean, was it your bat's fault? Was it your helmet's fault? Or was it the garbage can who's laughing at you in the corner of the dugout's fault? The garbage can always used to laugh at you.
Kind of like that waste management commercial where they can actually talk.
Yeah. It's laughing at my at-bat. You're laughing at my at-bat. You're laughing at my at-bat right now? Take this with my bat and that. And here's a cleat for you on the way out.
Hey, you're a garbage can. I'm not.
I don't condone it, but hey, it's intense up here. Trust me.
Brad Miller takes one inside edge. So each team with an error. Mercedes-Benz pitch cast.
It's a good pitch. Right down the middle.
Looks like they assessed an error to Pena last inning for throwing the ball by the pitcher covering home, which allowed Murphy to end up at second base after that wild pitch. Well, the Nats don't make any errors. That's just their 39th of the year, the fewest in Major League Baseball. Keeping the ball away. Great pitch by Roark. 2 balls, or rather 3 balls, 2 strikes. Dropped a breaking ball on him on a full count. Tanner's second strikeout, a beauty, leaves Saladino at second base and preserves the 3-run lead. Coons league leaders. When you're talking cars, you're talking Coons. So working on that 12-game hitting streak, and we're told that Starling Marte of the Pirates was hit by a pitch today and then had to be removed from the game. So evidently his 17-game streak still alive. Hope he's okay. Pirates won their 11th in a row last night. So here we go, top three. 3-1-1 Nats, 0-1-1 Brewers.
Play a little add-on baseball right here.
Rendon, Harper, Adams, 2-3-4. So Peralta came back with a 12-pitch, 1-2-3 second. After a bit of a nightmare in the first when he walked two and hit a batter. Ended up giving up 3 runs on 1 hit. High and tight to Anthony.
Yeah, I know it's his 8th start of the year, and you know, you can't judge a guy by a few innings, but I'm not seeing anything super duper spectacular so far from Freddie Peralta. His curveball looks like it's a curveball. I mean, it's nothing crazy impressive, and his fastball does have a little extra hop on it late. That's about all I can see from up here.
Two, nobody out. Anthony continues to battle.
Those are not euchre seats.
Yeah, right behind Eric Thames. There are field level seats right behind the right field fence out there.
I wouldn't want to look through a chain link the whole game, would you?
I don't know. They say after a while you don't notice it. I hope not to find out. Let's watch this one. And hooking fouled into the corner. Anthony Rendon didn't miss a home run by much, or at least a double.
He swung right off his batting glove. You see his index finger? It came out of the glove. He was showing the dugout. He's been close to 2 taters today. And then he was walking back and he showed his index finger and poked through his batting glove. Did he go get a new one? Fixed, yeah, twisted. Good idea. Yeah, there you go.
So here's the at bat from Nissan. Breaking ball and look out.
Did it come out? Yeah. Yeah, rip it off. You only need 9 fingers to hit anyways. You're that good.
Swing and a miss on a pitch. Moving away, and that's strikeout number 4 for Peralta, who has now fanned 3 of the last 4 batters.
All right, DC Lexus dealers donate $250 to the Children's National Health System for the first 200 homers hit by the Nets. This season, Lexus experienced amazing. The truck making a call with the promo as Bryce steps in. That's what they do.
Luckily, we don't keep attempts over successes as a tally, but they've been known to hit one now and then.
Same as when they go to the casino every now and then. He wants one. I like the glove.
Did he go? 0-2. And he went on that one. Bryce looked down to the third base umpire and then started running to first and gets thrown out by Manny Pena.
Yeah, that at bat tells me he's not seeing it. I mean, you rarely see Bryce Harper swing at 2 curveballs that aren't even close. I mean, we marveled at his eye for, I don't know, 5-6 years now, and how he spits on pitches that are just off the plate. Both of those curveballs were balls right out of Peralta's hands.
Matt Adams hit by a pitch on the foot first time up. Turned out to be a big play. Eaton was on with 2 outs when Matt was hit by that pitch. Then Soto walked, and then Daniel Murphy lined one to center to get the Nats on top by 2. A wild pitch would add another. So Matt did a good job of keeping the inning alive, and he's behind 0-1 here. Conditions in this ballpark change on a sunny day as the afternoon goes on.
Yeah, good to have a 3-0 lead.
It is. A loud sound out to right center. Calmly caught by Kane in the shadows. One of the deepest parts of Miller Park. So with shadows creeping, it is good. The Nats on top by 3, and it was almost 4. here in Milwaukee. Nats Pass. Attend Nationals games whenever you want, $65 a month. So in August, Mets, Reds, Braves, Marlins, Phillies, and the Brew Crew when they come to visit us. It's available exclusively through the MLB Ballpark app. So download it, start enjoying unlimited Nationals baseball at a great price.
Did you see where Cespedes is going to have surgery on both heels?
Yeah, I heard that I read that he had, going into the batter's box, he said his heels were on fire after one at bat as he walked back, and it's a very complicated medical procedure, and he's going to be out 8 to 10 months at least.
They got to operate on one, and then once that starts to heal, operate on the other one.
Wow.
Strange injury.
Manny Pena, Freddie Peralta, Eric Thames against Tanner Roark. Bottom of the third. They're in the seventh, still 6-3 at Philly. Nats will move on to Miami, and the Brewers are moving on to San Francisco to start a 4-game series tomorrow. Fastball up. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Pena, hitting .222 and 0 for 4 in this series. Facing Tanner for the first time. Got him. Uncertain swing on a 93 heater. His third strikeout. Mercedes-Benz pitch cast.
But just watch how slow he is right there, and just kind of falling off the backside toward the hitter. I mean, he's really driving through the heater today. So whatever he and Brandon Kinsler were talking about, definitely working.
Well, and what I got out of Byron's story about that was that there was a lot of talk on just what you mentioned earlier, keeping contact with that pitching rubber and not throwing like uphill, but getting over the top of it so that ball could sink. So it's all working so far. Freddie Peralta as a big league hitter. I'll tell you after the at bat, because we called a guy out last night who was 0 for 22 and he got 2 doubles.
No, say
Didn't
it.
call him out. We
No,
just gave the stat.
Say it. I'll wear it if something happens.
He's 0 for 12.
Perfect.
And going back to last year, Junior Guerra was 0 for 40 before he hit those doubles
See, you
last
have
night.
nothing to do with jinxes. That's my point.
Well, I've been telling you that for years.
Well, maybe I'm starting to come around a little bit to watch the area Toyota do. And I don't know if that's a good thing. Children and their families are making a $44 donation to the Children's Inn at NIH for every strikeout by a Nats pitcher this season. More importantly, it doesn't matter if the fans think we're jinxing it. It's the guys in the clubhouse that let us hear it.
Yeah.
And justifiably so. You get that shadow over the plate. Tanner wants that shadow right over the plate.
It's coming. Top of the order, Eric Thames. So the first time around the order, the Brewers go 1 for 9 with that Saladino hard hit single to left.
And on travel day, Carp, is when you have to be most cognizant of the jinx. Because when you're walking down the aisle on the charter, they'll grab you and say, hey, what were you thinking saying?
My family told me you said.
I haven't given up a home run in 22 innings.
It's your fault I gave up those bombs.
And they're serious, too.
Yeah. Oh, I heard it from Chelsea Desmond one time. Yeah. Remember the year Denard Span hadn't made an error until like August?
Yeah, and you said that.
And I brought it up. And fortunately, he went another month or so. But Chelsea was all over me for that one.
I remember when Tyler Clippard's mom grabbed me because you said something. He said, Tyler Clippard hasn't given up a home run in 18. Hey, we just talk.
Yeah.
That's it. And way too much. I'm craving a pizza.
Three and two. Thames struck out swinging first time up. You might remember Tanner threw him a fastball that got a lot of plate, but it had so much movement on it he couldn't make contact. So here we go again. Drops a breaking ball on him that time, and that's it for the Brew Crew in the third. 3 shutout, 1-hit innings by Tanner Roark.
Murphy coming through with 2 outs, staying inside a little linea to center field. Did it just right to score a couple of runs with 2 outs. So a big knock for the Nats. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save.
Juan Soto base on balls to load the bases after Adams hit by the pitch 3 innings ago.
Good uni working. 30.
Remember, he slid into third on the hit before scoring in the wild pitch. Menacing. It's like he can't wait for the next pitch. And to the right side, he was out ahead of it. Miller takes care of that. And suddenly 8 in a row retired by Freddie Peralta. So you're into the 3 o'clock hour back in DC. And around the eastern seaboard, the footprint of Masson. Glad you're with us from Milwaukee today. BCFP DK Getaway Day. The Nats trying to win their 50th game of the year. The shadow from the right side roof is in the batter's box now. So hitting conditions will get more difficult as the day wears on. That structure so high, paralleling the right side of the ballpark, and you get shadows here at 2:20 in the afternoon as opposed to 4:20 in some other ballparks. And then as the sun goes down a little later, it gets dicey for left fielders with the sun shining through the glass.
Is the front foot open?
Yeah, you notice that first time up.
Yeah. He has to get his hips to the inside pitch, kind of cheating to it. A lot of times if you close that front foot and pigeon toe it, you're closing your front hip and you block yourself off on the inside pitch. But look at Murph kind of setting that right toward, what, shortstop maybe?
Two-one. And he had him reaching. Pop fly right field, and that's the second baseman out there. Taken by Brad Miller, 2 down. No better time to act than today. PNC, make today the day with minor league insights. Look who's playing and look who's producing. Victor Robles is back, hitting just under 280. Getting some walks, some bags, and scoring some runs. He's on a rehab assignment after hurting that left elbow early this season. Just great to hear about him being back on the diamond. First pitch popped up, Trey Turner, right field. Whoa, Kane waving everybody off, and then the ball kind of tailed on him. And that's 10 in a row for Peralta.
Trey would have been on second. He was hustling the whole way, in case you're wondering.
All right, here's something incredibly cool that happened last night, and it didn't happen here in Milwaukee. Back in D.C., the Mamie Johnson Little League team became the first all-African-American Little League team to win the D.C. Little League 12 and under championship in the game's 31-year history. And of the 12 players on that roster, 8 of them are scholar athletes at the Nationals Youth Baseball Academy. That the YBA continuing to make a very real impact on a lot of kids and families in Ward 7 back in DC. A lot of the kids on that roster, guys, had never swung a bat before showing up at the Youth Baseball Academy. Anthony Rendon, a member of their board and volunteering there a lot. So an incredibly cool thing for that group, who now, if they advance another rounds, could make it to the Little League World Series.
Wow.
Ward 7 to Williamsport. Hope it happens.
Yeah.
Well done, everybody. Congratulations to Tal Alter and all the great people at the Youth Baseball Academy. You know, these things take a little time. Academy's been around for, I don't know, half dozen years or so now, and now you got true talent coming out of there. But life skills, dietary help the kids are getting, a place to go after school, a place to hang out and learn things, and it's so great. Wow. Thanks, Dan. Long way to go for Adam Eaton on this ball into the shadows. He's got it off the bat of Lorenzo Kane. Tanner Roark continues to impress. Bottom of the 4th underway.
I'll tell you what, minus the breaks, which he keeps running so he doesn't have to use them, and the reason he doesn't want to use them because it kind of will bite you the next day. Watch Adam Eaton run. I mean, he looks like he's close to 100%. And then when he slows down, I think he could hit the brakes if he wanted to, but why test it when you don't have to? He looks real good all of a sudden, and so does Murph, and that's a great sign.
Yeah, we noticed Murph going down the line really well last night. Home to first. Kristen Yelich, a ground ball to Murphy, first time up.
I mean, it's getting to the point where if you're a Brewers fan, you came to watch the Nets for the first time, you wouldn't see it, and you couldn't say that 2 weeks ago. We notice it more because we see him every day, and we've seen him 100%, and then we've seen him dinged up trying to come back from injury. But if you're sitting in the stands at Miller Park and you're watching Adam Eaton and Daniel Murphy, you have no idea that they had knee issues in the offseason, which is a great sign.
Ball 3. StatCast AI powered by AWS. So here's a guy who uses the middle of the field better than most. And right through there. Kristen Yelich is 5 out of 10 in this series. He just rounded first by about 20 or 25 feet with that ball rolling out into right center.
Well, he's a long strider, and he doesn't look fast, but he is. And he was thinking about stretching this into a double. Right here, he's thinking it. And Bryce Harper had to hustle and barehand to stop Yelich, who took a big turn at first, and that's the way you run the bases. Good hustle by Bryce to keep him there.
1 on 1 out. Their first base runner since the Saladino single back in the second. Aguiar hit a bouncer to Matt Adams first time up. He's now holding Yelich, who has stolen 13 bags.
Ten double plays turned behind Tanner so far this year.
High in the air right center. Bryce Harper takes control. 2 down.
They're talking about, did you hear me? Did you see it? Good communication after the play, sometimes key to the next play. I like that.
Travis Shaw hit the ball sharply up the middle, but Trey Turner stationed there, threw him out first time up. Giving him some A moves over there to keep him close. There's Turner again, but it's too hot to handle. Off his glove, Yelich to third as Soto returns it in. And the Brewers have 2 of their 3 hits in this inning.
Sometimes you're in a too perfect of a place. Watch this, right at Turner. I mean, if he has to go one step to his right or backhand this, it's an easier play. But since it was hit right between the buttons of his jersey, that's a hard play. That ball was tailing back, and a one-hopper. They had to score that a hit.
They did, and Saladino, who had their first base hit, steps in.
108 miles an hour.
Roark just missing inside.
Well, it's some kind of crowd here on a Wednesday afternoon. Unbelievable turnout.
Yeah, this ballpark seats 41,900. We probably got 38 or 39,000 here today, maybe upwards of 40. First 2 games drew a total of 60,000 in the series. And Roark spinning one down and away, bringing the hitter to a knee.
But if you're throwing a fastball with late life and you're establishing in the zone, now it opens up everything else. And Tanner talked about that, how that's key for him, to just drive that fastball in the zone. And now you have less decision time as a hitter to decide whether I'm going off speed or sticking with the heater. And that's why that slider just worked. And that one did too.
And a fastball froze him. Tanner Roark, Geppi's talked about this over the years. Hard to think with him. Slider, fastball. See ya. The all-wheel drive RAV4 Toyota. What drives you? Visit buyatoyota.com for great deals.
Oh yeah, scoop that sour cream on top. Yeah,
That's
what I'm
Wisconsin
saying.
cheese, man. I took a little stroll on the concourse about 45 minutes before the game. You could not get anywhere near the cheese curds concession stand.
I think that comes with defibrillators.
Weeders, Roark, and Eaton nitroglycerin pills. You could always slip one under your tongue after that. Yeah, they love their cuisine here, and it's awesome. Matt Weeders, a swinging strikeout first time. He's going to pull one down the line in right, and barely missing the pole for a foul ball. Nats have been close on a couple of occasions in each corner.
I don't know how you're calling these with the shadows, and then the ball gets in the windows. I'm not seeing a thing.
One.
Matt's got his hands out a little further away from his body, left-handed, almost like a Spencer Keyboom sort of trigger here. Look at that.
Three balls, one strike. And Matt with another hard ball hooked into the corner. Unusual ball game. The Nats have been out hit 3-1, lead 3-0. The only hit, Murphy's two-run single in the first. And he walked him.
Good at bat.
First batter and 11 men up there to get aboard, and gives Tanner Roark, who's pitching very well, a sacrifice opportunity here in the middle of the game. Third walk issued by Peralta.
Well, if you're bunting it right to Aguilar at first, because he's got to hold Wieters on. That's where the most room is.
It's up in the zone to get ahead. Rob Henley has got the sunblock out in full force today. And a step off by Peralta.
Got it. That was lay down a beauty with 2 strike sign.
And he takes strike 3.
He missed the sign.
Let's go inside the numbers. Brought to you by PNC Bank. Make today the day. So including today with a walk, 0 for 1, Adam Eaton is just doing great things. Hitting .400. He's got his batting average right around the .320 mark for the season. I mentioned his on base percentage. It's right at .400 for the entire body of work here in 18 for him. Showed us his strength last night. He hit a big 3-run homer out of here. And he takes that one up and away in his third AP of the day.
See, some guys will hit with the blue tint on the sunglasses like Adam Eaton's got right now. And the idea is to lighten up the shadow area. And then Matt Wieters on first, I think, has the darker tint. And the idea is to darken the sun behind the pitcher. So it's personal preference on what glasses you use with shadows.
And the 3-0 pitch in there.
See, those darken the sun part, and Adam Eaton's lighten the shade part. In case you're wondering.
Yeah, that's great.
And
Eaton walks for the second time in 3 at-bats.
And both of them walked, so they both worked.
They're seeing it. This is how Peralta got himself in trouble in the first inning. Walk 2, hit a batter. Adams on a breaking ball. So it's Anthony Rendon now trying to make him pay. Harper on deck here in the 5th.
Well, he was talking about how they go stale recently between innings 3 and 7 and how they need to add on runs. This is a perfect opportunity right here, right now. A couple of good at-bats, work some walks, and now you cash in.
Yeah, things have gotten quiet offensively.
And that he just told Matt Wieters, I'm reading you. If you go, I'm going here. Talking about a steal, and then he started laughing.
And Eaton can get way off the bag because Aguilar is further off the bag than he is. Rendon launching a high fly ball left field corner, and the foul ball caught by Christian Yelich. 2 outs and Harper's next. Christian Yelich, that's that sun field in this ballpark as the afternoon goes on here. Bryce 2 strikeouts swinging today. Peralta has fanned 6.
It seemed like Bryce is having trouble picking up Peralta so far in this one. Maybe it figures something out.
He figures something out to right. Well hit. See you later. 2 walks and a bomb, and the Nationals lead 6-0 on Bryce Harper's 25th home run.
Yeah, I noticed it the first 2 times. We'll show it to you in the replay. He's eliminated a step with the bat on the shoulder, lifting the bat up, and he's just had the bat straight up and down today. And so after a tough first 2 at-bats, Bryce Harper makes the adjustment, cashes in for a 3-run tater here, and there's your add-ons.
The definition of taking advantage. The Nats have 6 runs today, and the other 5 all scored by base runners given by the pitcher on 4 walks and a hit batter. The Nats have made him pay dearly. 6 runs on 2 hits. Adams hit by the pitch in the first, fly ball to center in the third.
And I like the fact that Bryce is starting with the bat off the shoulder, because sometimes, Carp, when you start with the bat on your shoulder, you take it off, it's an extra step. But see how it's off his shoulder already, and then he got a first pitch curveball that just kind of sat up there, and that's where the big boys hit that pitch.
RBI total up to 59 for Harper. Adams launches a high fly ball to center. Christian Yelich ends up in center to make the call, the left fielder. Big inning for the Nats. Wieters and Eaton walked, and they trotted home ahead of Harper's long blast.
But now your hands are right where you know where they're going to be, because he used to start with the barrel on his shoulder, right? We always see the pine tar on his jersey. Then he lifts the bat up. There's a little bat waggle before he swings. So now he's just setting his hands. You see right there. Go ahead and roll it, guys. And his hands are perfectly still, which in turn, I mean, it's just less movement. It's taken away one less step that he doesn't need. He's been very aggressive today, and all of a sudden, Freddie Peralta hangs a curveball first pitch, and see ya. 25th home run, 59 RBIs, and you extend the lead by 3. So a subtle adjustment. We'll see how it affects Bryce Harper in a positive way moving forward. That time it was great.
Fios by Verizon Exmo on that swing. First pitch, bottom 5. Brad Miller to Soto. 100% fiber optic network. 100% phenomenal. Visit getfios.com. We'll update the home run leaders as Bryce joins some company, including the Milwaukee first baseman and the Colorado third baseman, as well as the St. Louis version of Carpenter, who plays different positions at times. So those are your National League home run leaders, and Max Muncy, the Dodger rookie, in the mix as well.
Just thought that the simpler your swing is when you're not feeling great at the plate, the better it becomes, the results at least. Because now you're just eliminating a step that could go wrong. When you see pitchers, remember Tim Lincecum with all the moving parts he had in his windup? At times, if he wasn't feeling it in the middle of a game, he would just go to the stretch with nobody on because he was trying to simplify it. So you take off that little step of the bat on the shoulder, the bat wiggle to get to that point, and now less things could go wrong. And your timing is more consistent. I like it.
Piers Bryce's blast has knocked Peralta out of the game. Pinch hitter waiting. Bullpen working for Milwaukee. And a tapper. Tanner Roark over to get it. 2 down. Eric Kratz has been called back from the on deck circle. And that's going to keep Peralta into the game. Had they gotten a base runner, they were going to pinch it and try to cut into the lead. Now sometimes a manager will let the pitcher go ahead and hit and then still make the pitching change. The Brewers are one bench player shorter today because when they activated Peralta, they sent out left-handed hitting outfielder Brett Phillips back to AAA. Jorge Lopez was up in the bullpen, and Matt Adams could just come forward and take a nice little waist-high hop. Tanner Roark dominating today, and his teammates have taken care of the scoring.
Telling you what, beautiful day for baseball. This yard is absolutely full of Nats fans, Brewers fans, everybody having a good time. Questionable hat right there, but he's having fun. And so are we. Nats up 6-0. And that guy got a foul ball, and they're taking a selfie. We love Milwaukee this time of year. There is no place better.
6-0 Nats. So Peralta bouncing quickly back out to the mound to pitch a 6th inning here. He has walked Soto and grounded him out, and Juan had a pretty big rip. So the Nats box. 2-run single Murphy first inning, then a wild pitch, and then after 2 walks, the Harper 3-run homer in the 5th that got out of here in an instant for 6 runs on just 2 hits. That one bouncing in. Pretty well hit to center. Kane going back. See you later. Soto to deep center. His 11th puts the Nats up 7-0.
.415 in the 2 strikes, spread them out, choke them up stance. I mean, when you think about Juan Soto with 2 strikes, he spreads out, he chokes up, and you think, oh, he's just trying to slap something to left. But if you watch him on a daily basis, he still tries to do damage out of that 2-strike stance, and he just did to extend the lead to 7. My goodness, he's good.
Murphy takes a strike. Daniel 1 for 2. Soto's RBI total jumps up to 32. So a walk and a homer today. He's been on base 28 of his last 33 games.
See Murph lifting that toe up even with that new adjustment we noticed today with the front foot kind of open towards shortstop.
Look out. That one hits the very end of the screen over the dugout there.
I've never seen him do that before. He's kind of lifting his front toe up, and that's all he's doing. Usually he's a heel up guy, so his trigger is he'll lift the heel up on his front foot and set it down. Today he's lifting the toe up on his front foot. Watch. Maybe at 2 strikes he doesn't do it.
That ball got him in the dirt. Daniel off and running as it gets away. From Pena to Aguiar. First out, 6th inning.
All right, 2-strike approach. He's spread out, he's choked up, and he does that. Little back leg action, straightaway center.
You know, good looking hitter. Wow.
He does that, and I'm wondering, well, why don't you start like that? I mean, why wait till 2 strikes to get into that stance if you're going to hit one 400 plus?
Trey Turner bounces one left side. Shaw. Good play, and then that'll be the 2nd out of the inning.
Talking about how he stayed through that one, and maybe he was pulling off earlier in the ball game.
Matt Wieters with 2 outs and the base is empty. Matt a strikeout and a walk. Well done. Nobody there. Nobody within 20 feet of that ball, and Matt Wieters is on for the 2nd time.
Turn the lineup over, got himself a hit. Good at bat last time. Got the party started with a leadoff walk.
Yeah, Nats continue to step on the throttle here. Tanner Roark 0 for 2. In 5 innings, he's thrown 60 pitches, 41 strikes. He's going to hit one in the air. Eric Thames, right field. Things happening quickly. Nats pick up 2 more hits, first of which a long homer to deep right center by Juan Soto. Number 11, RBI number 32. Best looking teenager since a kid 6 years ago.
This is a two-strike approach. You don't see this very much in today's game. Joey Votto comes to mind, but he still does damage with 2 strikes. See him spread out. You look where the hands are on the bat. He's choked up. And there's just a little rock back. Go ahead and roll it, boys. Little rock back. And then watch him stay on his backside behind the baseball. And all that power created with the lower half. That's his 5th home run this year with 2 strikes. And he actually got on top of that baseball that was right around his numbers. So 11 home runs, 5 of them with 2 strikes in that spread out, choked up approach. And that one's on somebody's balcony. Wake up out there. It's a day game.
7-0 Nationals. For the Brewers, top of the order for Tanner Roark, bottom of the 6th. He has struck out Eric Thames twice, swinging.
But wouldn't you be tempted to walk up there in that stance?
I think it's a great question.
I mean, if you can't keep your driver on the fairway, but you're hitting your 3-wood about 290, and you're hitting every fairway, wouldn't you use your 3-wood?
Yeah, it's a great feeling. That happens. Brewers box, 3 hits today. But Tanner gave up 2 in the 4th. One was an infield. Well, it hit on the infield before eating up Trey Turner. But he struck out Saladino to get out of that jam, and he has been in control a lot. I'm just looking here. 1. He's faced only 4 batters off the stretch today.
Well, under control is a key, Carp. Just watch his delivery, how slow it is and deliberate, and how he stays right there just a click longer than he has been. And really using the lower half to drive that fastball down in the zone.
2-2 to Thames. And this one, a towering foul ball out of play. Phillies have closed out their win against the Dodgers today, 7-3. So the Nats have to just hold on here. By the way, they are 6-1 against the Marlins this year, including 3-0 in Miami. And a fastball upstairs to elevate for the strikeout. Tanner Roark, number 7 today. Mercedes-Benz pitchcast.
Well, you talk about how you turn around as a ball club. You got 2 guys that have been dinged up getting healthy. Bryce Harper just went deep, and a guy that's been struggling on the mound for the majority of the season, locking it in right before your eyes. That's how you turn things around.
Tanner Roark this year twice has struck out 9 batters. Once has struck out 8.
Don't forget about Ryan Zimmerman, who had 3 hits last night.
Well-deserved day off, and Ryan had gone back-to-back in this series. Jorge Lopez up again. 95 pitches for Peralta through 6, so he should be done for the day. And Tanner will walk Lorenzo Cain. He's on base for the 6th time in this series. That'll bring in Yelich.
All right, the Nats kick off a 9-game homestand with 2 games against the Metropolitan, July 31st and August 1st at Nats Park. So a quick series. Come out and celebrate U.S. Marine Corps Day at the ballpark. That's on the 31st. Then quit work, not just for a day, just quit and come to the ballpark. Noon start time on the 1st. Visit Nationals.com for tickets. Take 2 weeks off and then quit.
That sounds like advice given to golfers over the years that I've heard on occasion. It's in there to Christian Yelich, base hit up the middle last time through the shift. Bouncing ball to Murphy first time. Christian's had a good series. He's 5 for 10. And that one bouncing in. Wieters smothered it. Keeping the ball down beautifully. It's a foul tip into a strikeout. Number 8 for Tanner Roark, tying his second highest total of the year.
Well, I mean, it's all at the lower half. We've been talking about all day, driving the fastball down the zone in the late life that he's had. So that 92, 93 playing up for Tanner today. You get side to side with your upper half. You start throwing with your arm and not your legs. You get run on the fastball where it just kind of stays up in the zone. And his problem this year has been the bell-tie fastball. Now you use your lower half. You're driving the ball down, and it's below the knees. It's got late life on it. And it's hard to pick up, hard to get to. Different story here today for Tanner Roark.
Jesus Aguilar. He didn't play Monday. Slugger was back in the lineup last night. And he is the slugger of the National League. His .609 slugging percentage, highest in the league, on 25 home runs, 16 doubles. Moments ago, Pittsburgh Pirates had their 11-game winning streak snapped, shut out 4-0 at Cleveland. And a 2-1 pitch. In the air, shallow right. Adam Eaton waving everybody that he's got it, or pardon me, Daniel Murphy, and calmly over the shoulder. So Adam Eaton will lead off in the top of the 7th, followed by Rendon and Harper. And the guy after Eaton needs to get a base hit. Rendon's got that hitting streak on the line. Nats and Marlins open up a 4-game series tomorrow night. Steven Strasburg's is 16-7 career against the Miami Ball Club with a 3.04 ERA. He has a long innings scoreless streak going against them, 23 consecutive innings back to April 3rd of 2017, and Dan Straley for the Fish. 3 night games and then a Sunday afternoon game down at Marlins Park. This is our UPS store call to the bullpen. Need expert printing? The UPS store has you covered. Together, there's nothing we can't solve. "25-year-old from Calle, Puerto Rico, and 10th appearance of the year. He struggled with command, 14 strikeouts, 13 walks. But Adam Eaton swinging on the first pitch. Bounces out to the right side, and the 7th inning is underway. So maybe the only suspense left this afternoon, the hitting streak of Anthony Rendon. Still a lot of outs to get. 3 more innings worth for Tanner Roark and the pitching staff, but the Nats have a healthy lead, and we'd love to see Anthony get it to 13 ball games. He's 0 for 3 today.
Oh, there's one more. Suspenseful thing in this one.
Keon Broxton for Kane in center.
The guy on the mound for the Nats.
And that one hit softly to short for Tyler Saladino. 2 outs.
All right, it's time for your 4 drives of the game. Statcast that baby, 107.3 exit velocity, 394. I saw that red trail when he hit it the first time. I don't know about you. And then Juan Soto with number 11. This one was far. It was on the balcony. It woke people up that were still sleeping in that room. For your local Ford dealers for great savings on cars, trucks, and SUVs.
Couple of ground balls here in the 7th. So Murphy's 2-run single, the big blow early, and then Bryce Harper's homer last time around, the big middle of the game blow. He's done on 1 pitch, and we go into the stretch here in Milwaukee with the Nats on top by 7. Afternoon, 8 strikeouts, 1 walk, no runs on 3 hits. First up, Travis Shaw. And that one came down right in front of us. Took a hop and a souvenir. Row 2.
That would have hair lipped me. I wasn't looking.
Well, it disappeared from our sight twice. On the fly and on the bounce. We have a wonderfully low, slightly offset to the third base side broadcast position here. Saw last night where our friend Roxy Bernstein of the Oakland Athletics radio crew called his own catch on a foul ball into the booth for the A's.
Doesn't surprise me the way the A's are going right now. Doing everything
good,
right.
man. 16 over. Swing and a miss. Tanner Roark overmatching the left-handed batter right there, equaling a season-high 9 Ks. Here's the Nissan playback.
Yeah, 94, lots of late life, and you can just tell by the way he's walking around the mound, the look in his eyes, he's got his confidence back. And he's not thinking, he's just pitching.
May 5th against the Phillies. It was a 3-1 loss, but Tanner pitched well. He struck out 9 in 6 innings. He had done it against the Mets on April 8th. One out here in the 7th, and Tyler Saladino is next.
I mean, I think it's a good lesson for a guy like Tanner to know that, hey, your teammates are a tremendous resource. A lot of times you rely on your coaches as players, but the best coaches might be the guy sitting right next to you in the dugout. And players talk a lot, and Brandon Kinsler kind of locking them in, and that's no knock against Derek Lilliquist, the pitching coach, but sometimes, you know, a similar player like yourself sees something and they say something, just a little something, and all of a sudden you're boom right back where you used to be.
Yeah, and your key phrase, they're similar players.
Yeah.
2 sinker ballers.
And Tanner's so superstitious, he also might be learning that, hey, it's not about what kind of facial hair you have or how long your hair is. It's about, you know, making adjustments and believing in yourself. And right now, this is a guy we've grown to love here in D.C. Definitely figured it out.
And a ball driven to right will back up Adam Eaton. Final adjustment in the middle of the track over there for the 2nd out.
Perfect route, not a problem. He's laughing at himself. Right, he did about 4 360s here. There's one, right there. There's another one, and then I'm gonna go over here. Can of corn.
Brad Miller 0 for 2. And by the way, in terms of innings pitched this year, Tanner has gone 7 innings 7 times. Most recently against the Red Sox on July 3rd. He's got a chance to go well beyond that today. Tried to drop that breaking ball and just missed away. 2 balls, no strikes. Miller has struck out, hit a fly ball to left. Turner up the middle on the left side of the bag.
Oh, this is my favorite promo. MLB At Bat is your #1 Nationals app. Customize your experience. Catch every moment this year. Get Nationals home screen icons and features such as MLB.tv Game of the Day, pitch tracking and game highlights, live radio broadcast, stats, and news. Download MLB At Bat today.
Swing and a miss on a breaking ball in the dirt. Double double-digit Ks for the brilliant Tanner Roark today. Telecast is presented by authority of the Washington Nationals. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals. Two different eras right there. Levon and Daniel. We'll never forget Levo and all the great things he did for our organization in the early days. So here we are, top of the 8th. Lopez threw 4 pitches, 3 strikes to get 3 outs last inning. Hernan Perez checking his card to know where to play. That one's going to be hit out to center where Broxton took over for Kane last inning.
You know, I like those cards because it saves time, and as an outfielder you read them, and you know you don't have to look into the dugout. That's the positive of it. I think the negative of it's taking the baseball player out of the baseball player. You know, back in the day you used to have to read swings, so all of a sudden they got you on the pull side and the guy's late on a 2-0 fastball. If you're paying attention out there, you adjust on that given day based on the way that guy's swinging in that at bat, so you trust your eyes. And maybe when you have these cards in your back pocket, you don't pay as much attention as you used to because it tells you where to play every hitter.
It's a game of instinct.
Used to be.
You know, the information's nice, but
I don't know that it is.
at what cost?
I don't know that it is as much anymore.
Soto, a walk, a homer, 2 runs scored. Fifth time in his career, Tanner Roark has 10 Ks in a game. .95 pitches, 60 strikes in 7 innings.
All right, now get into the good stance. Not the other one's bad. This one's just my favorite. There you go. Spread out, choke up, get down in there.
Tapper by the mound, but when he got the glove on it, Lopez, that was all she wrote. 2 down.
All right, Saturday night, the Potomac Nationals celebrate the movie Grease with a free autograph signing meet and greet with Didi Khan. The Peanuts will wear special Grease-themed jerseys. I'm sure the players are so pumped about that, which will be auctioned off to benefit the National Kidney Foundation. That part is awesome. So go down to the Fitz and check out Grease.
Murphy 1 for 3, big blow early, 2-run single first inning. Trying to plug the gap with this one. It'll be run down with a reach at the end by Keon Broxton. Nats go quickly in the 8th. It's 7-0.
T-Mobile, Tanner Roark built for a good outing here today so far. 7 innings, just 3 hits. He struck out 10 Brewers. We're going to show you some punch outs here. But the fastball command and the fastball life late has been the key to everything you're about to see. It's opened up all kinds of different avenues, different pitches. The tempo's been quick but under control, and so is the delivery all day long.
Yeah, strike one to Manny Pena. Something about this ballpark, huh? Nats have one change on defense. We'll get you there in a second. How about right now? Wilmer Difo gets Daniel Murphy off his feet for the rest of the day.
You know, part of sports psychology is drawn on past successes. You know, when you lay down and you put on your favorite tunes and you're visualizing success, where do you go to? You go to places and teams that you've had success against. So when you bring up stats about this guy's great against this team, this guy's great in this ballpark, it's because of past successes. And it gives you instant confidence as an athlete when you step onto that field. On the flip side of that, Carp, if you have a place where you stink, that's where you really have to work hard on the mental side and the visualization to block all that stuff out and to pretend you're in a place where you've succeeded. Kind of trick your brain.
And Roark challenges him, and there's a line drive to Wilmer Difo. So with one out in the bottom of the 8th, here's Dan with more on Tanner.
Bob, not to be lost in all of Tanner Roark's success today is that he's pitching today on 11 days rest with the All-Star break there in the middle. This from a guy who's very reliant on routine in between his starts. So I asked Tanner the other day whether he threw more over the All-Star break knowing he'd have this long layoff, and he smiled. He said, I didn't pick up a baseball once. What he did do was work on his body. He wanted to be mobile and flexible and maintain the strength that he's put up over the course of the season. So Tanner opting not to throw at all, and it's working.
Well, we didn't pick up a baseball either, if that matters.
Keeps pumping strikes. Adam Eaton's had an active day. 2 outs in the 8th. And now Tanner trying to go 8 for the first time in just over 2 years.
All right, the Nats and Virginia Tech have teamed up for Virginia Tech Day at the ballpark. That's Friday, August 3rd. With the purchase of a special ticket, get a co-branded Hokies National New Era cap and watch the Nats and the Reds 7:05. Visit nationals.com for details.
So that was Keon Broxton, and here
Dealing. I don't think there's a whole lot of seeing going on up at the plate right now either.
Yeah.
Nice combo for Tanner.
Wow. Tanner Roark has one career complete game. Could today be another? Stay tuned. To you by Lexus. Experience amazing, and the drawbridge up just in time.
So Tanner's done 8 shutouts. Handshakes all over the dugout. There was a lot of high fives, some celebration between innings, and this at the end, Bryce Harper with a hug and a message for Tanner.
A 3-hitter with 11 strikeouts and 1 walk over 8 innings. He goes 8 for the first time since July 16th, 2 years ago, at home against the Pirates.
I had to speculate that hug was something about that's the dude I know, the guy that goes out there and takes the bull by the horns, so to speak, and goes right after guys.
And a ball rolled down third base way. Trey Turner is out, and that's the first out here in the 9th.
What a day for Tanner Roark. Awesome.
Sammy Solis. And the pitcher spot next, Mark Reynolds will get an AB. You have to know how happy every guy in that dugout is for Tanner Roark. They wanted this one badly for him. They took care of it with early offense. That one caught by Thames off the bat of Wieters, and here comes Reynolds to hit with 2 outs in the 9th.
There's some healthy rips right here.
Why not? 106 and 68, by the way, the final row arc pitch count. I'm trying to catch up with some off-speed stuff there. And that's it. Now 3 outs to get. So Sammy, get after him and get the Nats out of town on the way to Miami.
Fifth Tater of the year. Juan Soto, 2-strike homer, straightaway center field. Tanner Roark, the story of this one, besides the Nats scoring 3 and then adding on with 4 more. And Brandon Kinsler, a guy who helped him with his mechanics the other day, said, listen to me, bro. I got you. That's good stuff right there. I love that.
In the pitcher's spot, Eric Kratz will pinch hit. Bottom of the 9th.
I'll tell you what, Brandon Kinsler's one of those guys, when he's done playing, can do pretty much whatever he wants. He'd be one heck of a pitching coach. He knows the game. He'd be a decent manager too, and he could also be a broadcaster.
And Kratz hits one deep to center. Stays in the yard, hits at the base of the wall. And he greets Sammy Solis with a leadoff double.
Let's see the numbers for Sammy Solis. 43rd appearance, ERA at 4.4, 234 average against. Righties not hitting as well as lefties. This is important for Sammy, even though it's 7-0. Every time you take the big league bump, getting that 27th out and shaking hands is a big deal.
Lefty-lefty here with Christian Yelich. And the breaking ball spins in there. Sammy's second appearance of the series. Faced one batter, and that was Yelich with that crazy high-hopping top spin grounder for a triple 2 nights ago, and that's upstairs 1-1. Into right. Adam Eaton has to take it on a hop.
I mean, Davey Martinez does not want to get up another pitcher, and he definitely doesn't want to bring in another pitcher. I mean, he wants Sammy Solis to get 3 outs and get out of town. And now he's looking at his card to see who he might have to get up right now. That's the last thing he wants to do.
Here's Hernan Perez, who came in to play first base, replacing Aguilar. Nats would love a double play ball right at somebody here, and Sammy gets ahead. And that ball is hammered to left. 7-3 ball game.
Check out the pitch. Looked like a changeup down and in. And just like that, the Brewers are within grand slam range.
They would need to get 2 base runners to make it a save situation. And for now, it's Solis and Shaw in a lefty-lefty matchup.
Kelvin Herrera's throwing.
This one to center. Rushing in to grab it, Bryce Harper for the first out. Saladino is next. So Kelvin just in case. And the heater in there, 2-1. Two.
Yeah, Herrera's hot right now. He's letting it rip down there. It's a big pitch.
Swing and a miss for the second out. So it's Brad Miller, final hope for the Brewers here. no chance on that big hook. By the way, a little history note here. The Nats have never scored 7 runs in a ball game on 4 hits. They've done it today, first time in their history. And now just a final out to put the icing on the cake. One and 2, and it's upstairs. And a tapper over the mound. Here comes Trey Turner. A little in between hop. Couldn't get a handle on it. And now the Brewers are 1 base runner away from Herrera coming into this game.
A tricky play for Trey. I think he had a chance, even though Miller runs pretty well. But he had trouble on the exchange. He was going for the jump play, and I don't think Dave Martinez is going to wait.
Wow, you're right.
This is the last thing he wanted to do right here in the 9th. But hey, you can't waste a great day all of a sudden here in the 9th, and you got to go to your closer.
Nats lead 7-3. Some work remains. One out to get, and Kelvin Herrera will get the call. So for the Nats closer in a non-save situation. 14th appearance with our ball club. 12 Ks, 6 walks, 14 hits in 13 1/3.
Yeah, fastball's been jumping on Kelvin's hand the last 2 or 3 times out. It's been sitting around 97. He's touched 99 a bunch. No triple digits in there, but it's been a good one. He's been going right after guys, and he needs to right here for the last out.
I saw some of his hardest stuff of the year early in the series. He pitched a scoreless 9th with a strikeout last night to get the ball game into extras. Defensive indifference as Brad Miller, who was given a hit on that play, goes down to second base. Just foul. Pena, first career matchup with the Nats right-hander. And blocked by Matt Waiters.
they got left? I'm going to say they got 5 left. That's their first mound visit today.
Ball 2.
Do you remember in April, we're like, where are we going to put it on our scorecards? The mound visits. Where is it going to be in the stadium? And now you don't even think about it. It's just part of the game.
Yeah. Anthony Rendon has it, and that's it.
But tremendous team win today. Tanner Roark, the star of this one. 11 strikeouts, 8 shutout, gave up just 3 hits. A bunch of runs in the first inning. Some add-on runs, some homers. Bryce Harper checking in with number 25, and a good win to get on the plane and head south to Miami.
What an amazing day for Tanner Roark. Big hits by Murphy and Harper. The Nats were given some free base runners early. They took care of the rest. For FP and Dan, Bob Carpenter, see you in Miami. We'll begin coverage at 6:30 tomorrow night with Steven Strasburg against Dan Straley. This has been a presentation of Masson. Johnny and Ray have a nice story to tell straight ahead. Nats Extra post game from Wisconsin.